So now let's understand about this blue prism, what exactly this blue prism is, and what we are just going to see into this blue prism. So this is basically RPA stands for robotic process automation. Okay. So here in this robotic process automation tool, we are just going to cut off all the manual interventions activities through this blue prism tool. So here we have a different tabs. Okay, so we have a different tabs. We have a home tab, we have a studio tab, we have a control tab. But for the RPA developer point of view, the main tab is our studio tab. Okay, the main tab is studio tab, and under this studio tab, we have a two kind of a studio. One is process studio and second is object studio. So now what is the difference between this process studio and object studio? Let's say, so if you want to automate the process which are not connected, which are not connected or part of any application. Okay, so if that is not part of any application, then we can simply automate that through the process studio. But now suppose if you want to automate any process which contains the application activity, then we need to use this object studio. Okay, why? The reason is that blue prism says that you cannot get connect blue prism to any other application directly. You cannot get connected. So they have given one bridge which is known as a application modeler. So application modeler is basically the bridge between the blue prism and any other applications. Okay. So application modeler is basically the bridge between the blue prism software and any other applications to automate it. And this application modeler exists into object studio only, not into this process studio. Okay, so if you want to automate any kind of application, just like what kind of applications you can automate through the blue prism, so you can automate, that is window based application. You can automate mainframe application. You can automate browser based application, and you can automate Java based application. Java based application. So earlier in version 5, they have given these four kind of applications which you can automate. Okay, and that browser based application was by default for the Internet Explorer. But now this time they have segregated this into two sections. Okay, one is browser based application, but that is for the Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer. Okay. And they have given one more browser based application. This is for Chrome and Firefox. Okay. So they have segregated the browser based application into these two different sections. Okay. Now Let's understand how we are just going to automate any process. So basically what you have to understand, so they have given all the predefined stages into the blue prism. Okay, so if you want to automate any kind of a process, then you must have the knowledge about the each and individual stages in the blue prism which you are going to use into your automation process. So this activity of any application automation activity we will see into the later section, but we are just going to start from the scratch level. Okay, so now let's see. As of now, I am just gonna tell you about this object studio and the few stages. So now let's see. So how we are just going to perform the activities into the blue prism. So if you'll open the blue prism, so you will be able to see the blue prism face like this way. Okay, home tab, we have a studio tab, we have a control tab, analytics, then we have a release, different tabs we have. So I will tell you that what exactly the use of all these pages. So as of now, just go into this studio tab and you will be able to see this process studio and objects studio over here. Okay. So now, for example, if I just need to create any object, then you just need to do the right click on this object and here you can see the create object. Okay. So if you click on this create object, so it is going to create your object outside of any folder. But now I say I just want to create a folder and under that folder I just want to create my own object. So the create group means the create folder. Okay, so suppose I'm just gonna create a group. Suppose I say USA online 11th Jan 20. I have given this folder. Now under this folder, I just want to create the object. So just do the right click and you just click on this create object. So once you click on create object, so now here you can see it is asking the object name, that what name you want to assign. So always remember the object name should not be start from the numeric. So suppose I am just going to give the day one as Ravinder. Now click on next. Just simply finish this one. Or if you want to make any kind of a meaningful description for your future reference, then you can enter a description of for this business object. That what kind of activity you are just going to perform or any kind of a meaningful descriptions which can help you for the future reference regarding this object. So you can give into this box, but that is not mandatory. So just simply click on finish. So now you can see the object has been created. So just double click on this one. So once you will double click on this one, so now this object is going to appear. So now in the left hand panel, you can see the link, the block, read, write, and all the things. So in left panel, whatever you are able to see, so that is nothing but known as a predefined stages. So all these are a predefined stages. Okay. On the top, that file, edit, view, tools, debug, and help, these are the menus in this object. Now you can see we have a three pages: initialize page, cleanup, and action page. Okay. So regarding this initialize and cleanup, we will discuss later on. But now here you can see this complete area. Okay, this complete area where you are able to see all these grid lines over here. So all this complete area is known as a canvas. Okay, all this complete area is known as a canvas, and this section, this one is known as a information stage. Okay, which are going to let you know that what is your object name and what is your page name. That is nothing but a tab name. This is action one. So this is nothing but an information stage. And in any object or in any process, these two stages will reflect by default, the start stage and the end stage. Okay, so sometime it happens in interview they ask that what are those two stages which contains the by default into your canvas. So that is a start stage and end stage. Okay, now what we have to do? We have to simply automate our process through all these stages. Okay? But before moving on, let's see. I have a start stage and I have end stage. Okay. So now if I just want to delete this end stage, I can delete it because they have already given the end stage, which I can again drag it over here. But about this start stage, if you want to delete it, so you cannot delete it because they have not provided the start stage, because your process is going to start once only. Okay, your process is going to start once only, so you cannot delete this start stage. Okay. Ajay, there is a background noise actually.
My no,
Thank you, Ravinder. So now what I need to do, let's see. So here, let's see, simply automation we are just going to see as of now. So simply I just need to take the two variable and I just want to make the sum of it. Let's see how. So I just need to take a two variable. So I am just gonna talk about the two stages. First of all, data item stage. Then I am just gonna talk about calculation stage, and I'm just going to talk about the link stage. Okay, so let's understand the first. So you must have the knowledge about the individual stages. Just make sure about that. So what exactly the data item stage? So data item stage is basically used to hold any value, or you can say data item is nothing but known as a variable. It means to hold, or you can say store any value. Okay, calculation stage is basically used to perform any calculation, and link stage is basically used to connect all the stages into the execution sequence. Okay, in which sequence you want to execute your process, so you have to connect all these stages through this link stage. So now let's see what we have to do. So I said you have to take two variables means two data item. Suppose I am just going to take the two data item. One I'm just going to take as a val1, and second I'm just gonna take as a val2, and I'm just gonna pass some value. For example, in val1 I'm just gonna pass the 100, in val2 I'm just gonna pass 200, and I just need to make the sum of val1 and val2. So I have to make the sum of this val1 and val2. So let's see how we are just going to perform this one. So just go into BluePrism, and here you can see this data item. So just hold this data item and drag into this canvas in anywhere. Just do the double click on this and you can rename this one. Suppose I am just going to rename as a val1. Now it is asking that the data item or a variable which you have taken, so what kind of a value you want to assign or you want to hold within this variable, you need to provide the data type. So just click on data type and I am just gonna take the data type as a number. So an initial value which I am going to assign as 100. So it means the value of this val1 is 100. Okay, now you can see. Then again a second data item I'm just gonna take, double click. I said this is val2. Then I'm going to take a data item as a number and initial value I'm just taking as a 200. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to make the sum of this val1 and val2 and need to store into the another variable. So here what we can do is we can create a new data item, whatever the name you want to assign. Suppose I say the result, okay, and data type I'm just gonna take the number, but I'm not going to assign the initial value because I just want to hold the sum of value 1 and value 2 into this result variable. Now click simply OK. Now, for performing this sum calculation, I need to use this calculation stage. Just drag between start and end, double click on this, and I say sum. Now it is asking the expression. Expressions means here you just need to pass your all the functionalities. So what I need to do, I have to make the sum of val1 and val2. So now you can see the data type which I have defined for this val1, val2 and result, that was the number. So here you can see along with this number data type you are able to see this plus sign. So if you will click on this plus sign, so you will be able to see all those data items for which you have assigned the data type as a number. Now you can see. So what I have to do, drag this val1 into this expression box plus drag this val2 here in expression box. Now it is asking the store result in. Result in means the sum of val1 and val2 where you want to hold. So I want to hold into this result data item. So just drag this result data item into this store result in box. Now simply click on OK. Done. Now I have to connect all these stages into the sequence. So I need to use this link stage. So just click on this link, start to sum, sum to end. Now reset this one. Now click on execute. Okay, so you just need to click on this go button. So just click on go. So now here you can see. So now here you can see the sum of val1 and val2, 100 plus 200, that is 300. If you will click on this one, so now you can see the current value of this result is 300. Now if you will make the changes, for example, if the val2 result from 200, I just make it as a 500. So now if I execute this again, so now it is going to give you the result as a 600 and is storing into this result data item. Okay. Now here you can see as a 600. Okay. So this is nothing but a data item. So if you want to rename this page, so just do the right click on this page, action page, and here you can see the rename. So I'm just going to rename as a suppose sum. Now you can see the sum. If you want to create a new page, so just do the right click and click on new. Okay. So now I say, for example, multiply. Okay. Now I'm just gonna take two variable. Okay. I'm just gonna take the value one, data type as a number. I'm giving as a 10. Another data item I'm just gonna take as value 2. Here the number, and I'm just gonna take as, for example, 8. Okay. Now I have just dragged this calculation stage and I say I just want to go for the multiply. So here I just need to go for the value 1 and I need to go for this value 2. Now it says where you want to store it. So earlier what we have done, we have firstly created this result data item, then we have dragged into this store result in section. But another way is also here. What we can do is in rather than create in previously, what we can do is simply we can type the name of the variable or a data item in this box, like I say multiply result, and we can just click on this icon. So once you will click on this icon, so it is going to create the data item of this multiply result, and now here you can see it is stored into this number. Okay, now click on OK. Now you can see it is created. This is the another way. Either you create first and use that one, or you can directly create it from here also. Now execute this one. So now here you can see the multiply 10 into 8, that is 80. Now you can see the result. The third way of creating a data item, let's see. I'm just gonna create a new page. I say this is divide. Any question, Ravinder?
Yeah, okay, no.
Okay, fine. So the another way is, suppose I have taken a data item as a data 1 and I have taken the data type as number and I say this is 120. Okay. Now the another data type or a data item I have taken as a data 2 and I have taken the data type as a number, I say 30. Now I just want to divide this one. So let's see how. Drag this calculation stage. I say divide. I just want to divide off data 1 divided by data 2. Now it says store result. So what we can do is either we can type it over here and we can just click on this button, or another way is you can see this number data type. If you will do the right click, so you will be able to see add new as a child. So if you will click on this one, so here you can see data 3 is created. If you want to make the rename of this one, so just do the right click and click on rename. So I just want to rename as a, suppose I said divide result and enter. Now just drag this divide result into this store result in section and click on OK. That's it. Now connect all these stages into sequence. Now let's execute this one. Now you can see the divide result. 120 is divided by 30, that is 4. Okay. So it means if you want to hold any value, so you need to use the data item stage. And if you want to perform any kind of a calculation, then you have to use the calculation stage. Now suppose I need to perform all the aggregate functionalities into one page. Okay, let's say I say aggregate functions. Okay, sum, multiply, divide, and so on and so forth. So let's see how. So here I'm just gonna take data item. I say variable 1, the number I have taken as 120. Then again I am going to take one data item, variable 2, data type is number. I'm just going to take as 30. Now I just want to make for a sum, multiply, divide, subtract and all. So what I need to do, go for this calculation stage, double click, I said this is for the sum. So I need to go for this variable 1 plus variable 2 and I just want to hold into sum result. Click OK. After that I need to drag one more stage. This is for multiply and I just need to go for variable 1 multiply variable 2 and I just want to go for multiply result. Okay, these two variable has been created. Okay, after that I need to go for the, suppose, divide. Now go for variable 1 divided by variable 2 and it is your divide result. Okay. Now after that I just need to go for the subtract. So drag this calculation. I said this is for subtract. So go for this variable 1 minus variable 2 and I want to hold into subtract result. Okay, now done. Okay, okay, created over here. So you can see you have sum, you have multiplied, you have divide, you have subtract. Okay, so all the variable has been created successfully over here. Now you can see. Okay, now just connect all these stages through the link stage. Now you can see. Okay, just reset this one. Now execute and see the result. Sum 150, multiply, then divide, then subtract, and end the process. So once your process will get completed successfully, so on the top you will be able to see as a completed. Okay, and you can connect these stages into any sequence. It doesn't mean that in this flow you have to create it. No, the things which are depend on your linking only. Okay, for example, I'm just going to create a duplicate copy of it. Create a duplicate copy of it. So for example, I just want to connect into this way, like this way. Okay, so it doesn't mean anything. Okay, it is going to perform perfectly fine because it is depend on your flow only. Now you can see it is depend on your flow, like this way. Okay, now you can see the result. So it's a depend on your flow, basically how you have connected the stages. Okay, but it is a good practice to connect all these stages into proper flow. That's it. I can just make it a little short like this way. Now you can see like this way. This is also the complete process. If I'll execute this one, so now you can see. So it's depend on your arrows. That is nothing but a linkages. Any query, Ravinder, as of now till here?
No, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So now, so now you have seen this all these stages. Okay. So we have seen the data item stage, the calculation stage, and the link stage. So now let's see, suppose if I have a variable into one page and if I just want to use those variables into another page, then how we can use those variables. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to create a new page. I say call data item into another page. Okay, let's see. So suppose I just want to go for the sum, multiply, divide, and subtract. Okay, but what is my requirement? My requirement is that I just want to use these variable one and variable two, which I have in this aggregate functions one page, and I want to use into this page. Okay, so how we are going to use it? For example, let's see. Suppose I say this calculation stage, and I say this is for the sum. Now here you can see under this number you are not able to see the variable 1 and variable 2. Okay, because this is as of now by default if you are dragging any data item, so those will be considered as a local variable. Local variables means you cannot use those variables apart from that particular page or outside of that page. But if you want to use those variables into another pages, so what you have to do, you have to make the visibility of these data items. But how? Just click on this variable and here you will be able to see the visibility. So this is check as of now, hide from the other pages in this process. So because of that, if this box is checked, so you will not be able to use this variable outside of this page. So I just want to use into the another pages also. So I will just make this visibility of, say, this variable is already created into this another pages. So because of that, it has given you these issues. So for example, I'm just going to create a variable here because here this is also created. For example, I'm just going to use this val1 and val2. Okay, so just double click on this one, make this okay, double click, uncheck this, okay. Now you will be able to see the val1 and val2 here. Now you can see. So if you want to make the visibility of any data item, then you just need to make the visibility checkbox off or unchecked. Now drag this val1 and val2. I say this is sum. This is sum. Okay, I can see. Now simply same. I just want to go for the another calculation like multiply. Just go for the multiply. You can drag it or you can also type it like this way, val2. You can type it also. Okay, multiply. Okay, then I need to go for the divide. Val1 divided by val2. Drag one more calculation, subtract val1 minus val2. Okay, square right in within the square bracket data item. Now subtract. Now create this one. Okay, fine. Now connect all these stages into the sequence. Now let's execute this one. So now you can see. So it is capturing the val1 and val2 from that sum page. Okay, now here you can see the value is 100 and 500. So the sum is 600. Multiply is 50,000. Divide is 0.2. Subtract is minus 400. Now if I'll make any changes into this page, suppose I say now this is 200 and this is 800. Okay, I made the changes here. Now let's execute this one. Now I can see 1000, 1,60,000.25 minus 600. Okay, so this is the way how you are going to call the data item from one page to another page. Okay. Now, for example, if as of now we have seen that if I just need to perform the four aggregate functions, then we have used these four different actions, right? The calculation stages, different calculation stages. So now what we have to do? We have to perform all these into a single stage. Okay, all this into the single stage. So let's see how we are going to perform this one. So we can use the one more stage, which is nothing but known as a multi calculation stage. So multi calculation stage, as the name also represent or suggests, that multi calculation stage means perform multiple calculation into single stage. Okay, so if you want to perform the multiple calculation into a single stage, then you need to go for this multi calculation stage. So let's see how. I'm going to create a new page. I say this is multi calculation stage. Okay, so here you can see multi calculation stage. So just drag into this canvas, double click on this, and now you can see the expression, and now you can see the store in. So expression is nothing but your calculation activity. Now you can click on expression editor. Now you can see, and store in is nothing but the result where you want to store, mean to say the variable you needs to create it over here, under which the expression result is going to be stored. So now just provide the expression. So for example, I need to make the sum of this val1 and val2. Okay, and I just need to hold into the sum output. Okay, now click on add, another line will create it. Then I just need to go for suppose multiply, so I can go for this multiply. I say this is multiply result, create this one. Now click on add, the another one I just need to go for the subtract. I say this is for subtract result. Okay, and just create this one. If you will not create this one, so it is not going to demonstrate here. Okay, click this one. Now the next one is divide. This is divide result. Okay, now if you want to check whether that expression is valid or not, if there is any error, for example this way, so you can click on this validate. If you click on validate, so now you can see expression is valid. For example, if there is any error, okay, like this, suppose bracket is missing. Now if I'll click on validate, so here now you can see it is going to give you the error like this way, your expression doesn't appear to be valid. Okay, so this exception is going to be thrown by the blue prism. So just make it. Now click on validate, and suppose meanwhile you just want to make the testing of this one. Okay, so just click on this evaluate expression. So now here you can see the by default value which we have assigned in val1 and val2 has been captured, and if you click on test, so now you can see it is showing you the output. Okay, now if you want to make the testing, for example, I say if I'll pass the 87 here, and if I'll just pass the suppose 43 here, and if I just click on test, so what will be the result? This way, and in bracket it is showing the data type as number. So you can make the testing of this one, evaluate the expressions. Okay, now click on OK. Now click on OK. So now here you can see I have clicked on sum, subtract, multiply, but for the divide I have not clicked. So because of that, the divide data item has been not created. So click on this one. So now you can see the divide result. So this is your subtract, this is for sum, this is for multiply, and this is for divide. Now connect these stages, link start to multi-calculation to end. If you want to rename this multi-calculation, you can rename this one. So I say this is aggregate functions. Click on OK. Now OK. Now execute this one. Now you can see, look, all the result has been performed in one click only. So if you want to perform the multi calculations into a single stage, then you have to use the multi calculation stage. Any question, Ravinder?
Okay.
Okay, that is clear.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, fine. Now if you want to save this one, so what you have to do, simply just make a control S, and you just need to save this one. So once you will save it, so if you will go here, so now here you can see this has been saved at what time, by which user, okay, whether that is available or a deleted. So you will be able to see it over here at what time it was created. Now here you can see, so each and everything is, it is going to demonstrate. So if you'll make any kind of a changes, then again you have to save it. Okay, if you'll make any kind of a changes, for example, I'm gonna change the value. Suppose I say 1200 and I say 400. Now if I'll execute this process, if you'll make any kind of a changes, okay, now you can see the result. Now if you will close it, so automatically it will ask for the save as. So if you'll control S, so you have to pass something into this box. Okay, so any meaningful thing you can pass it over here, because that is the only thing it is going to reflect. Okay, so I say this is suppose save one I have given, just click on save changes. Okay, now if you'll go over here, so now you can see the save one. Okay, so all the kind of a log will automatically will create. Okay, so I will tell you that what exactly the use of this added summary, in which scenario we can use this added summary, why it is so important. Okay, this is actually you can say one of the most important thing into the Blue Prism regarding this added summary. Okay, so here you can see earlier we have done as a save, now we have done the save one at this time by this user, and this is available as of now. So this is basically the concept. Okay. So today we have seen these activities. So we have seen these four stages: the data item stage, the calculation stage, the link stage, and this multi-calculation stage. Okay. So all these four stages we have seen. Okay. So just keep the individual stages understanding, then only you will be able to perform or automate any process through the Blue Prism, because these are the most important thing. Now you can see I have not used a single line of a code. I have simply drag and drop the activities or stages which are predefined by the Blue Prism into the canvas, and simply I have automated it. That's it. Okay, so you must have the understanding about the individual stages. So so whenever I will say that I just need to use the variable, it means somewhere I am just talking about the data item stage. Okay, when I say that I just need to connect all these stages, it means I'm just talking about the link stage. I say if I just want to perform any kind of a calculation, so I'm talking about the calculation stage. And if I say that all the calculations should be used into a single stage, so I am talking about the multi-calculation stage. Okay. Is it clear till here?
Clear, clear.
Okay, fine. Okay. So this file I'm just gonna share with Ajay. So Ajay will email to you. Okay.
Okay.
So in starting, we will just go a small little bit, because you also have to make the practice on this one, because when you will just go through this one, so it might be that you face a kind of a challenges into the connectivity or calling the data item, make the visibility like this way. But in a 1 or 2 session, you will you will be familiar with it, and definitely you are just going to perform very well.
Okay.
Okay, so for the another stages, we will look into the another session.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
any query as of now? If you have any queries, so please ask. Not any issues.
After I practice, I will check it.
Okay, okay. And this file I am also going to share with Ajay. So what you have to do,
Okay.
what you have to do, you have to import this one. How? Just simply save this file into a path and just go into Blue Prism, click on a file and click on a import. Okay. So if you'll
Okay.
click on
Okay.
import, so simply just browse that file and click on OK. That's it. Khatam. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Ravinder. We'll connect in the
Yeah.
next
Okay.
session.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.